Life can be hard, and we've all faced those moments that seem to stop us dead in our tracks. But what if those moments of difficulty, the bad news, could actually be a springboard for something greater? I'm Cam Garven, and each week I'll bring you stories of extraordinary resilience and conversations about lives and ideas that are productive. This is the Productive Lives Podcast. Well, welcome back to our two-part conversation with Kevin King from International Project. Last time we talked about the where, reaching the nations right here in our own cities. Today we're going to talk about the how. Recently, Kevin wrote a book called Living Out Loud, and it addresses a problem almost every Christian struggles with. I do too. The fear of sharing our faith. We're going to talk about, with Kevin, what does this mean? He calls it the two languages, the way we talk at church versus the way we talk in our neighborhood or at work, and why merging them into one authentic spiritual voice is the most productive things you can do. Whether you're a student, a CEO, or a retiree, this episode is going to give you the tools you can turn your daily routine into a mission field. Let's jump right back in. I found when people come to Philly and do projects with us, they can talk to the homeless, international refugees. They almost like, we're on a week, we're going to talk about it. But living out loud every day, Kev, why did you write the book? It's available on Amazon, and we'll put it in our show notes. I just got it, starting to read it. I've seen you speak some of this, so I'm excited to see even more. But here you are, like I said, we can talk to anybody. We're on a missions trip, and then, I go to school, I go back to work. So tell us a little bit why you wrote the book, and maybe how can we use this in our daily lives?
Yeah, sure. So, like I said, we started this training probably 15 to 17 years ago, where people who wanted to go and be involved in ministry and be disciple makers, they would come and be with us for a year. And one of the things we realized is that prior to coming, very few people actually shared the gospel on a regular basis or had spiritual conversations on a regular basis. This has become our primary training, our foundational training for how to engage people spiritually. We call it Living Out Loud, and it's based on Deuteronomy 6. And like you said, I just want to say that again because that was so good. A lot of times we're like, I'm going on this mission trip for a week, and then all of a sudden we engage people spiritually. But then on our day-to-day interactions, we don't. And what I find is most people come and they are not used to allowing their spirituality or their faith to come out through their everyday language. They're not used to doing that. And actually, worse than that is oftentimes we suppress it. We actively suppress it because of a lot of fears that we have. So what we're doing is we're trying to help people become comfortable in their own spiritual skin and to talk about God naturally and comfortably and often as they engage people. So the Deuteronomy passage that I was talking about, it's called the Shema. It starts out, "Hear, O Israel," and that word "hear" is the Hebrew word for Shema. "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one." And it says, "Love the Lord your God with all of your heart and with all of your soul and with all of your strength." And it says, "These commandments that I give you today are to be on your hearts. Impress them on your children." Okay, so it's talking about loving God with all your heart, soul, and strength. And then it says this, "Talk about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road, when you lie down and when you get up." Okay? Mm-hmm. So basically Deuteronomy, and it goes on and says some other things, which I'll just I'll give you the abbreviated version. But basically what it's saying is to love God with all of your heart and soul and strength is to talk about him. To talk about him when you wake up, to talk about him when you walk along the road, when you go to the grocery store, when you go to work. So I can say this, that the people who have their spiritual volume up and they're allowing their spirituality to flow through their language, they end up sharing the gospel the most. And they end up leading the most people to Christ. And the people whose volume is the lowest see the least amount of fruit. So I kind of see evangelism happening in two different ways. You have two different pictures. One picture is Deuteronomy 6, where you just engage people and let them see your spirituality, and that leads to spiritual conversations in the gospel. The other way to engage people spiritually is a Luke 10 version. And in Luke 10, Jesus sent disciples out 2 by 2, told them exactly what to say and exactly what to do, and they engaged people. Seed Weeks is like a Luke 10 experience. But if we only do a Luke 10 experience, that eliminates 98% of our lives.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We're not going out all the time. Yeah.
Exactly. So really doing Deuteronomy 6, living out loud, is what will allow you to see the most fruit in your life and to become a disciple maker. So that's what the whole book's about. It helps walk through why we don't live out loud, some of the fears that we have, some of the different ways that we can grow in living out our faith. And it gives examples of what it might sound like to live out loud. But I'll just say this. One of the clear signs that we are putting our light under a bowl, as we see in Matthew, like we're hiding our light, is that we have two separate languages. And what I mean by that is we have one set of language that we use with our church friends at church, and then we have a different set of language that we use at work. And so I'll just give a simple example. Let's just say you're thinking about taking this new job or looking for a new job. And at church, you'll say, you know, I'm really praying about whether I should take this new job, and I'm just seeking the Lord's will in that. And then when we're talking to our unbelieving friends or at work, we might say, hey, I'm really thinking about taking this new job, and I'm weighing the pros and cons.
That's right.
And so we are intentionally, we're kind of like showing two separate faces, like almost like a hypocrite. We're afraid, we're not comfortable in our own spiritual skin, and we're intentionally suppressing our spirituality.
Okay.
And I would say just have one language and make it the language that really resembles your identity. And it's the language that you use with your believing community. Just use one language and you'll be amazed at how open and receptive people actually are.
That's excellent.
So that's really, the book is about that. The book is how to engage people. What are the obstacles that are preventing us? The biblical picture and narrative of what it means to be a disciple maker and a seed sower. So
Excellent.
That's what it's about. So I think personally, for any person to really see great fruit, they got to do Deuteronomy 6 and Luke 10.
Right.
Do both. But Deuteronomy 6 is foundational.
Yeah.
And if we're not doing Deuteronomy 6, that's 98% of our lives.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting if you talk to a Hindu friend or I have a Buddhist friend, they just talk spirituality their way, and we accept it.
All the time.
We're like, oh, well, you're Hindu and you're Buddhist, or yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a great point, Cam. You know, because sometimes we think, oh, I'll get persecuted if I let my spirituality flow out. Why do you think that? No, you won't. I mean, if you're pushing people in an obnoxious way, but
sure.
When a Hindu person lets their spirituality come through, or a Muslim person lets their spirituality come through, which they do all the time, or if you're talking to an unbeliever and they're like, oh yeah, this is karma, we don't mock them. They just do it. But we're the ones who have this fear of being rejected, and nobody else does.
Yeah, it's odd.
It's very odd. It's Satan's schemes to keep the gospel quiet, you know?
Yeah. Like you said it, I forgot who said it, but all life is sacred. It's not secular sacred. You know, all of life is sacred. And we're in a different culture, which I think is post-Christian, post-truth, but people are coming to us and they're searching for the truth.
Absolutely.
And what a time to be alive and to write books like this and to be involved with International Project. Thank you. What are you excited about next phase? International Project, you personally?
Well, International Project, you know, we have this bold vision to mobilize 100 new workers and start 10 to 12 new teams in Europe, in the US, in Central Asia. So if God is leading you to say, hey, what's next for my life, or how's the Lord leading, we'd love to engage you and talk more about what it looks like to join us. But even more than that, we want to see regular believers everywhere just become disciple makers, to understand their identity as a disciple maker. And that's a real big passion of ours, to see that happen. So whether it's with us or with somebody else, or just being a part of a church and being a disciple maker, that's our passion, is to see that happen.
Excellent. And then internationalproject.org.
Yep, internationalproject.org.
So if you're listening to that, go on there. You can get the book, or that's on Amazon. You can talk about Seed Week. You can give money. You can show up. You can pray. Really, with Productive Lives, we want to partner with people that are making people's lives productive. And I think our life's productive when we're sharing our faith. It's almost like the forgotten aspect of our life. We talk about mental issues, we talk about physical, but we forget about our spiritual. This is a great reminder, Kevin. Thanks for the conversation. Anything else you'd like to add, or?
Well, thank you for having me. No, this is great, Cam. I appreciate you and your ministry. And your new book, by the way. I'll just throw that out there.
There you go. Authors just tell each other about books.
That's right. We just try to promote each other back and forth. No one else has read it, but like, hey, yeah, your book.
That's funny. No, we got a deal going. Hopefully we're going to get our books together at our home church and give them out to people. So they're doing productive life stuff. They're in the street, but they're also learning how to do evangelism and outreach, which are two sides of the same coin.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Kevin.
Thank you for having me, brother. I appreciate it.
I love that distinction that Kevin made between Luke 10 missions trip experience and the Deuteronomy daily life. If we only share our faith when we're like on a missions trip, we're missing 98% of our lives. Just having one language, being comfortable in our own spiritual skin, that's the sweet spot. If you want to grab Kevin's book, Living Out Loud, you can find it on Amazon, Living Out Loud, Kevin King. And I highly recommend checking out his website, internationalproject.org. You can learn about his seed weeks or the training programs and other things he's talked about. As always, let's keep seeking the honest, humble, and productive life. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for listening to the Productive Lives podcast. You can expect new episodes every Monday. And if you like the show, please subscribe and leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. This helps others like you find the show. The Productive Lives podcast is supported by Productive Lives, where our mission is people serving people, and our vision is to motivate people to improve their lives and the lives of others through servant living and leadership. If you want to live a productive life and help improve the lives of others, visit our website for more information, productivelives.org. The Productive Lives podcast is produced by Studio D Podcast Production and hosted by me, Cam Garven. I'll see you next week for more stories of resilience and conversations about lives and ideas that are productive.